Carolyn is a single woman living in a bachelor apartment. She works as a researcher at a TV station by day and sings in a choir at night. But at home, her clutter has the upper hand.
I need Helen because there is no way that I could ever possibly do this on my own. Every time I walk in my front door, the whole sort of self-esteem kind of thing just comes crashing into the middle because you're like, why can't you keep up with this? You know, other people can do their dishes. I'm totally trapped by my stuff. In fact, I could even say that there are times where people say, well, no, Carolyn, you know, let's go do this or whatever. And I'll be like, no, I've got to go home and I've got to take care of this stuff. I've got to do something about it. And of course, then what do? I walk in the door and go, oh, stuff, holy, just no. And I sit down and turn on the boob tube and switch the brain off and nothing gets done.
Carolyn.
I am.
Helen.
Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Welcome to the space.
Okay, now do you do any work out of your home or do you work outside your home?
Office outside my home.
Okay, so this is
strictly personal.
Personal.
All personal.
Okay.
So that's just new clutter.
New clutter. Now what about all these newspapers and recycling? Do you have a recycling place outside of the apartment that you could drop this stuff?
Well, yeah.
Good. Good. Okay, because it's a fire hazard sitting here as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we want to avoid that. So you've got some books, magazines.
Magazine stuff. Paper. Photos. You don't even, oh, yeah, you know. Don't even want to tell you that was from last year.
Oh. You play guitar as well.
Currently, of course, now it has a couple broken strings, so it's not doing much of anything.
Okay.
But taking up
I can
space.
see we're going to have a list of projects that need to be completed.
Oh, yes, there's a lot of little things. Oh, that's broken. Oh, that should have
Do you
changed.
find that those little projects kind of eat away at your energy,
totally.
though?
Oh, yeah. Computer. Okay. There is a synthesizer underneath there, surprisingly but true.
So is this a hobby? Is this something you do for money? Or?
Music. I don't necessarily like to call it a hobby, but I suppose, no, it's not something I'm getting paid to do.
Okay.
But it is a career potential. It's what I want to be doing, ideally, in the future, is my music.
Ah, okay.
So that's why I kind of...
Sounds to me like it might be a life purpose. So you've got another piano here?
Yeah, this is my main piano.
It's beautiful.
This is what I use to practice for choir that I'm in and for
so you're in a
voice
choir.
lessons and that sort of thing. Yeah, so this is my baby. Okay. This is my next business of music organization, is books and music binders.
Wow, it takes up a big part of your life.
It's a huge, it's everything to me, is essentially what we're dealing with,
Wow.
Everything.
What I think is happening here is that Carolyn is actually using her clutter to block her way to success. And she's probably doing this subconsciously, perhaps because of a fear of failure. But we've got to get the clutter out of here so that she has a clear path towards her dreams.
This is my new wall bed.
Ah.
Yeah, so...
Now, when you got this bed, what was your vision for the space when it was out of the way?
Initially, I had thought a table. Figured I could look out the window, I could eat.
Okay.
It rolls against the wall when this comes down.
So kitchen by day, bedroom by night.
Yeah.
Got
because
it.
I've never up until this point actually had any place to eat.
Now what happened to the
doors?
Cupboard doors.
This is one of those projects that goes on, in the process of. I don't like the dark colors, so I was in the process of taking the cabinet doors off to paint. With dishes. Dishes.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of space to be dealing with all of this.
No, and I don't have a schedule too that always says as soon as I'm, eat, drink, or whatever, do the dishes now. Not so much.
Well, let's have a seat and discuss where we can go from here.
Okay, great.
Okay. I can tell that you're ready to move forward in your life right now.
So ready. Yeah, absolutely.
And all this stuff is keeping you stuck.
Yeah. It's totally dead energy at this point.
I want to make this a space that you're proud of.
Yes.
A space where you can do your music with a clear mind.
Yeah.
Because all this clutter must be affecting your creativity.
Totally. Yeah.
Clutter in
No
our
focus.
space is usually clutter in our mind as well.
Yes.
Okay? Before I come back with my crew, though, I got some homework for you.
Okay.
Okay? This is what needs to happen.
Right.
We need to get all the recycling out of here.
Okay.
We need to get the dishes washed and out of the way.
All
Okay,
right.
because we need space to do what we do as organizers. We're not cleaners, so
Yeah, no.
we need that stuff taken care of.
yeah,
we
no.
want to focus on what we do best. It's a really big job. There is recycling all over the place. There's paperwork. You can't even see her couch or her piano for that matter. Everything is buried in clutter. She's a prisoner in her own home, and it's actually an excuse. It's keeping her from moving forward in her career. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to have her face her demons. What is your time worth, really, right? So have you ever played for your friends?
I'm not comfortable playing with friends. Even my family has a hard time getting me to play for them.
Carolyn's tiny apartment is full of good intentions. I can see we're going to have a list of projects that need to be completed.
Oh yes, there's a lot of little things. Oh, that's broken.
But all of that clutter is an obstacle to her achieving her dreams. Carolyn's apartment right now is totally dysfunctional. She has a tiny little space and way too much stuff. So what I want to do is give her a place where she can be inspired at the piano and a place she can relax with friends. In order to do that, all of this clutter has got to go. All of these unfinished projects, goodbye. Recycling, gone. Musical instruments, I guess we have to keep those, but we'll find a home for them so they're all together. And by the end of it, this tiny little space is not only going to be functional, it's going to be beautiful.
Clutter has become a huge obstacle. My music itself, which is the most important thing in my life, I'm not writing because I come in, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed. The last thing I seem to be able to focus on is sitting down to my piano and composing. Hello. Hi, Helen. Come on in.
Okay, here's the game plan. Number one, the furniture has to move out to the balcony so we have room to sort. Number two, I'm going to get the team to organize the kitchen. Number three, we need to separate the good stuff from the garbage. How about if we go on a treasure hunt? For the things that you value most. I'm putting a positive spin on things so that it's not as difficult for Carolyn when we go through the purging process. So when it's in smaller piles like that, does it feel less overwhelming for you?
Oh, yeah, totally. As opposed to spread it all over the floor? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious, what happens when you start doing this on your own?
What happens to it? It usually ends up in another pile that says, yeah, this has to go out, and then it never actually gets to recycling, so it ends up in a bag sitting on the floor.
Carolyn's clutter problem is actually chronic. She's struggled with it her whole life. So what I need to do is stick by her when she makes these decisions and constantly give her encouragement.
It's not on there somewhere. That can...
Look how well you've done so far. This is a weight that's just been lifted from your shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is
and from my
awesome.
desk, and from my couch, and from
Keep
my...
it going. You're doing fabulous.
Like, you won't be throwing that out.
What's happened here with Carolyn is that her clutter has been around for so long that she doesn't see it anymore. She just tunes it out. But when I walk in, she sees it through my eyes. And that's motivation enough to start tossing. I think that's why she's doing so well.
No, I don't get that.
She's awesome at purging. I'm so impressed.
It's almost like I'm being irresponsible somehow. Like I no longer have to be responsible for this stuff. So it's kind of like I'm just being, yeah, totally frivolous, and which is kind of fun. Because that's so not me. Lovely.
We're making great progress, but I'm feeling like there's still a block there. So I'm going to send the clutter crew out And when we're working one-on-one, I think there's a better chance of her opening up to me. This is all music to sort.
Okay.
I'll let you have a quick look at that.
Goals, short-term, long-term.
Goals, short-term, long-term?
Oh, yeah. See, I mean, I go through...
Oh, my gosh.
But I get...
This is a whole system. Look how organized this is with tabs.
It's not a case of me not necessarily completely not being organized. It's a case of me getting overwhelmed and completely taken over by my environment.
Wow, you got a lot of goals. What's the main one, though? You don't need this.
My main goal is to be a full-time musician.
Whether
that's playing...
No, I just want to hear you say it with a period at the end.
I want to be a full-time musician.
Yay! So have you ever played for your friends?
I'm not comfortable playing for friends. Even my family has a hard time getting me to play for them.
Really?
And even if I hear people in the hallway, I'll zip it.
We got to get you over that hump, girl.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, when we got to the music stuff, it was very clear to me that Carolyn doesn't have a very high opinion of herself. And it made me really sad, truly, because I can see that it's such a big part of her life and so important to her. So if we can clear that up and let her start fresh, clean slate, I think she's going to soar. It's the end of day one, and Carolyn has done a fabulous job purging. I'm very happy with the amount of stuff that's gone out. Having said that, we still have a lot of stuff here in a very, very tiny space. Do you love this?
Yes.
Carolyn's dream has been buried under her clutter, but I've worked hand in hand with her. She's purged a lot, and now I can get to the heart of the matter, and that's her music. What I want to do is move the piano to this side, reposition the love seat like that, give her a chair to sit in. The TV stand actually ends up over here, and then we'll bring in her musical instruments so they can be showcased.
I will be happy when today's over. I was extraordinarily drained after yesterday's purge, though I'm a little anxious about today because I don't know how much of my music stuff Helen wants to go through.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. I'd like to tackle this cabinet.
All right.
Let's start taking the musical instruments and putting them in the bin.
This can go in home decorative.
Okay. Do you love this?
Yes.
Okay. Actually. That sounds so defensive. It's just a question. Oh, so you got a whole recorder collection there. Would you be willing to let go of one of these if they're the same kind of thing?
Yeah, all right.
Are these music books? No.
No.
Travel book?
Travel.
2002.
Travel book.
Are you going to Germany soon? Austria or Switzerland?
I was in Austria.
So are you going again, do you think? Anytime soon?
You're asking if I should get rid of the book?
Uh-huh.
Carnegie memorabilia I'll have to go through.
No time like the present.
Okay.
Would it be okay with you, though, if we didn't spend so much time reading the little notes on it? I know that I'm pressing Carolyn here, but I'm holding the vision for her, and I can see what's on the other side of the clutter. She's got to make some tough decisions, but once she makes those decisions and change comes about, she's going to feel so much better. It's starting to feel therapeutic yet.
I would say so. There were definitely times, I think, last night after everybody left that I was just like, almost felt the whole well up kind of thing happening. And it was just waiting to burst.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Oh, like you feel the tears just sort of coming to the forefront.
Even though she was stuck, even though that's not where she wants to be in her life, there's still a grieving process, and I think that really does have to happen before she can actually move forward and take on that new life with open arms. So it's a good thing. I think the grieving is a good thing that it happened. Carolyn did a great job on the purge, and now we can start to make over her place. The furniture was mismatched and too big for her apartment. I'm going to give her modern pieces that are to scale and can showcase her treasures. Let's get those cupboard doors back on and painted and make Carolyn's apartment into a home she can be proud of. before I leave, I want the unfinished business schedule.
Right.
So I'm going to have you get your day timer, and we're going to put some deadlines and prioritize on what needs to be done.
Okay.
Okay?
Moroccans will have to be
Repair Moroccans. The trick to finishing unfinished projects is to give yourself a deadline. Pick a day, put it in your day timer, and do it. Yeah, what about all these videotapes here?
Friday the 19th, I will be getting ready.
Good. As long as it's on your day timer, if you can't do it that day, you're going to move it to another day, but it actually will get done.
It still has a deadline.
But it still has a deadline.
Yes. Okay.
Exactly. Carolyn's place is really coming together. I'm sending her away, and when she comes back, her home will be transformed into a space that inspires her creativity. Carolyn was embarrassed to have people over, and yet she opened her door to us. That took incredible courage. And maybe she didn't believe in herself at the beginning, but she trusted me and I believed in her. And together, we made it through the other side of the clutter. Look how well you've done so far. There's no stopping her now.
I'm very anxious. I'm very excited. It feels like it's been a long process, and at the same time it's like, wow, it's really here. Oh man, my apartment. Oh my god, this is so not my home. Incredible. Awesome. It actually looks like a home.
Carolyn's living room was a disaster. Her couch was plunked in the middle of the room. The piano was jammed in the corner under clutter. Now the piano is the focal point of the room, and the couch is much more inviting in its new spot. What are you thinking?
I'm dumbfounded. It looks awesome. It absolutely looks awesome. To have everything right around my piano like that.
I've created a music area that's conducive to composing and playing by surrounding Carolyn's piano with inspirational objects. We've recovered your love seat. This is your love seat.
This is so much better than the big pink thing.
I don't want to see newspapers all over the floor ever again.
Okay.
In this beautiful space.
Okay.
In case you do get the odd newspaper and magazine that you want to recycle, I want to introduce you to the Crunch bag.
Oh, how cool is this?
Okay, it sits up just like that. And after you're done reading your newspaper or your magazines or whatever it is, throw it in there. Once it gets full, look at how easy it is to carry to the recycling. For cans and bottles.
Oh, cool. There we go.
How easy is that? In such a small space, Carolyn's Murphy bed wasn't being used efficiently. By adding a table and chairs on wheels, this area now has a dual function. Bedroom by night, dining room by day.
Oh my god, there's an actual table in here.
Room for four.
Wild.
So when you're done eating, it actually fits very nicely in this space against this piece of furniture.
Which means you've tested it.
We have. You can open your Murphy bed and sleep in peace.
Nice.
Remember the big bookcases here?
Yep.
It impeded the flow. How do you feel about the way we've defined it now?
No, actually, it's still surprisingly very separate, actually.
It clearly says this is the dining area.
Yep.
And this is the living space.
And so much living space, actually. I've never seen so much space. Yeah, which is also cool. Awesome.
Come on in here in the kitchen.
This is incredible.
The kitchen was dysfunctional. By putting the cupboard doors back on and removing the clutter, it's now a usable space.
My knobs and doors are up.
Yes, we worked more magic in here. Because we can actually walk in now. The floor is cleared up from all the cupboard doors.
Yeah.
We've painted them up for you. How does it feel in here for you?
It feels like it's a place I would actually want to cook. Miracle worker Helen. Oh, incredible. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Would you play a little something for us?
I might.
You will?
I'm not making any guarantees. I might.
You will?
feels like it's a fresh beginning, like I've had sort of a second chance. You know, if I haven't been happy to where I've been so far, that now I have like this ultimate second chance to go, okay, then let's do it right this time. You know? It's kind of cool. Not everybody gets a fresh start.